A closing disclosure is a legal form that details the final terms and costs of a mortgage, including the total loan amount, interest rate, monthly mortgage payments, and closing costs. The closing disclosure is one of the most important pieces of paperwork during the mortgage process. That being said, any loan that requires the use of a loan estimate that proceeds to closing must be provided a written closing disclosure which reflects the final terms and costs of the transaction. Generally, creditors are required to provide this form to borrowers no later than 3 business days before the consummation of the loan. If these terms change once the form has been provided, the creditor must provide a corrected disclosure that contains the actual terms and one in which complies with all other requirements. If a new disclosure is provided, the creditor must also provide an additional 3 business day waiting period prior to consummation. Please note that a copy of the closing disclosure can be used to verify net proceeds from the sale of real estate. If the sale price differs from the sale contract, this could be a warning sign of a potential problem. Let's take a look at the difference between closing and consummation. Consummation may commonly occur at the same time as closing or settlement, but is a legally distinct event. Consummation occurs when the consumer becomes contractually obligated to the creditor. This may vary per state law, and creditors should be certain that they are providing the form 3 days before this event. Delivery of the closing disclosure can be done in person, by email, or mail. If the closing disclosure is provided in person, it is considered received by the consumer on the day it is provided. If it is mailed or delivered electronically, the consumer is considered to have received the closing disclosure 3 business days after it is delivered or placed in the mail. However, if the creditor has evidence that the consumer received the closing disclosure earlier than the 3 business days after it is mailed or delivered, it may rely on that evidence and consider it to be received on that date. Furthermore, settlement agents may deliver the closing disclosure to borrowers on the creditor's behalf, but are required to provide the home seller with a copy of the borrower's closing disclosure or a separate disclosure with seller information only as they supply a copy to the lender as well. Sellers must have their disclosure no later than the day of consummation. Waiving receipt of this disclosure follows the same rules regarding bona fide financial emergency as previously mentioned.